Let me tell you right now, no, your content is not supposed to feel this draining or like a chore. And I used to think that burning out from content was just a part of being consistent and building your dream business. And I learned the hard way that content that drains you will never sustain you, and it sure as hell will not bring you the kind of audience or clientele that energize you. And so this episode is going to snap you right out of it, okay? We're gonna go from overthinking and being drained to creative overflow, having vanilla content turn into undeniable authority, tuning into your magnetic magic, how to prevent burnouts from ever happening in the first place, and get you the real tea on content that gets people obsessed with you and your business. Okay, welcome back or welcome to the show. I am so excited because I'm gonna shoot some rapid fire in this episode. And also, if you don't already know, it is me, your host, Malika, content creator and entrepreneur. I know exactly what it feels like to feel so motherfucking drained from your content and still show up and still be posting, and you're just like going in from a place of like, it doesn't feel sustainable, it doesn't feel like it's energizing you, it feels like it's taking more than what you have. We want to like be coming from a place of excitement and not just consistency, but for it to really feel like fucking magnetic, fucking powerful, and the kind of content that doesn't hit like everybody else's content. Like, you are part of the 1%. Go grab your matcha, go on your hot girl walk, and let's go right in. And also recently I've been getting a hot matcha and I've been like so obsessed. I've been loving it. I don't know why. It's just like hitting different now. Like, I don't know. Now, it's important to know why this feeling of burning out or feeling uninspired is happening, okay? And this is honestly the biggest sign of misalignment. Because when you think of something that feels so fucking aligned with you, it gets you excited, right? It gets you like, even let's say you had no energy, you would be like, oh my God, like literally I'm going to find the energy to go do that thing because it's literally calling out to me and it literally gives me energy, even if I don't have energy, right? And so when you are feeling burned out or you're feeling uninspired when it comes to creating your content, like, that is a major sign that is screaming like, hello, like you are really not in alignment and you're not creating from a place that like makes you excited, right? And so we have to look at like what's kind of happening behind the scene and why this is happening in the first place. And honestly, I have to say that like a big part of this, especially for me when this was happening for me, was because I was always looking for inspiration, and I was like looking so much for inspiration that it would just end up being like comparing myself to other people or wanting to like kind of copy what they are doing or what is working for them, and then just doing it because I thought that it was going to get me the result that I wanted, when really it was just taking me out of my authenticity, it was taking me out of my alignment, and it was just like not fun to do. And when you're like out here nonstop scrolling and everything, like most of the time we're thinking, oh my God, like this is giving me inspiration. But most of the time what actually ends up happening is that is actually what is taking out your original inspiration. That is actually what will make you the most iconic ass bitch, because you're not copying anyone else. And this is where the power of having your own personal brand comes in, is because you are building a brand that is uncopyable, that is so memorable because it's not like everybody else's, right? And so that is the goal here, right? And so that's what we need to remember, is that like we don't want to be like everybody else. We want to be part of that 1% And this feeling of like being uninspired and like having this like misalignment also happened to me when my interest and what I liked talking about started shifting but I didn't shift my content along with it. And that also felt like it was not authentic anymore, but I was so used to creating this kind of content that I just roll along with it, right? It was just like I was used to creating this. So I was like, okay, let me just do this because that's always what I've done, right? And I wasn't letting myself like grow with my own growth, which was making me feel so fucking drained by like showing up. Now, of course, we also have chasing the algorithm that I find is honestly probably the best recipe to feeling uninspired and also having really fucking boring content. Okay, so let me just explain this a little bit because let me just ask you this first, okay? What is the point of having your only metrics of success, the algorithm, and not your own personal goals, your own goals for your business, your mission, right? Like those should be your goals, not chasing the algorithm. Like that should not be your goal. Because like why the hell do you even have these goals in the first place if you are not honoring them when you're showing up, when you are building your brand? Because this is honestly where I see the biggest spiral happening. Like, oh my God, like I didn't get as much like as my other post. Like, oh my God, I didn't get as many comments as my other one. Like it must mean this, it must mean that. Oh, like my posts are not as good anymore. Like they're not like engaging as much. Like nah, whatever. And I'm like, this is what makes you want to please the algorithm and want to chase the algorithm and want to get on the good side of the algorithm. And honestly, like this is the best fucking recipe to create content that literally pleases everyone. And when you start pleasing everyone, this is when you don't get your fuck yes clients. This is when you don't get your fucking align community and audience because your content is pleasing everyone and not the people who will be obsessed with you. That's the thing. You're meant to have a fucking powerful messaging, a powerful brand, a powerful presence that attracts only the kind of people that are actually going to be fucking obsessed and not the one that are just gonna like because it appeals to most people and please the algorithm, but it doesn't do shit for you. You know, like this is the exact thing that starts making people have content with no punch at all, because it's like, what the fuck is the juice that's like your secret like fucking recipe, and like what's the thing that's like making me fucking obsessed with you? And I'm like, fuck, hell yes, like this resonates so fucking much with me. I love this girl, I love her fucking presence, I love her attitude, I love what she stands for. It's like there's nothing because like your priority is the algorithm and not your own personal goal, your own like business goal, your own impact, right? And that's where you don't want to fall in that trap, because let me tell you, it is a slippery one. It can be so freaking easy to want to implement every like, oh my God, there's this latest tip, there's this latest that and everything. And I know when I used to like consume all these different like people that would tell me like, oh my God, okay, now you have to do this strategy when you upload, now you have to do this strategy and this strategy and this strategy, right? And it's always changing. And here's the thing, right? That shit is not sustainable. And if you are out here, I know it's because you want to have a business that is sustainable. And the algorithm is always just a reflection of people, right? And so your goal is simply to pierce through the noise and have content that is filtering enough so that you can only have those people that are actually going to be like, I'm so fucking excited to follow this girl, to jump in her program, to buy her offer, to become her client, to be part of her audience, to, you know, like that's truly what you want. Do you think that trendsetters are out here looking at what the next trending thing or what the next right thing is to do? No, because they are the one that sets the tone. They are the one who makes the move, who that is why they make wave in their industry, in their niche, right? Because they are the one that are fucking leading, and they're able to embrace that, and that makes you fucking magnetic, and that makes you part of the 1%. And now if we're getting real, okay, if your content sounds like everybody else, it will hit like everybody else, aka it will not be hitting, okay? And we'll like basically just scroll past it like everybody else. This, number one, comes with your messaging that makes them think like, fuck yes, what the fuck? She's literally in my head, okay? That's the first thing. It's like, we need your messaging to be something that's not like, I've heard it, right? Like, that doesn't make you attract that like fucking obsessed audience, that obsessed clientele that you want to have, okay? Next thing is that we want to have out of the box like thinking, and also having it lands with their triggers, right? Because everybody has triggers that are emotional. You need to really think about the way you communicate things more in an out of the box way, because if it's something that I've already heard before, I already assume that I'll know what you'll say next, and I won't listen to it, even if it's maybe a different thing that I've never heard about it before. But just because your messaging is not out of the box and it doesn't like hit me like, what the fuck? I need to fucking listen to this and sit down, right? Like, that doesn't get my brain thinking, oh my god, I've kind of heard about this before, so I'm just gonna scroll, like, I'm not really gonna listen, right? And that is why you need out of the fucking box messaging when you are communicating what you want to communicate. And next thing is to really hit those triggers. Okay, so we all know, you know, your buyers or anyone that like is on social media, we all have like triggers that is either emotional, that's like what they consume, right? And it's like, especially emotional is like the biggest one, because people are not like, they're logical, but like what really hooks them in is emotions, right? Like, that's why we love stories, that's why we love watching movies and like addicted to TV show, right? It's not because we give a fuck about lawyers, it's because there's a storyline about these lawyers and we're super intrigued and what's gonna happen next, what's in their life, you know what I mean? And so it's really hitting those emotional triggers in your content. And then you have your own secret spice that you add to it, right? Like, it is literally your own secret spice that like no one else can get it anywhere else. And for example, for me, I have seen this over and over and over again, that my best pieces of content are always the one that I literally took zero inspiration from anyone else, like, but me. And these are always have been my best performing pieces of content. And over time, I got to formulate this framework. And the reason for this is because it was based and is based within my own personal brand, my own messaging, my own voice, right? And that is a thing that really fucking hits. Come up with a few questions that you can start asking yourself when you're creating your content, so that you can really shift from, do I have vanilla content? Maybe I think I don't have vanilla content, but maybe you do, okay? And so I'm gonna tell you like a few questions that you can tell me if this changed your approach with content creation, okay? So first thing, what are your personals and business goals when you are creating your content, okay? Not your algorithm goals, okay? What are your like actual personal goal and business goal when you're creating your piece of content? Because if immediately you're thinking, okay, I want to have like X amount of like or views in this content, then it's like that, those are algorithm goals. They're not like business or personal goal. Second thing is this one is so good, okay? So definitely listen, do this one, okay? If you knew that every single post that you post would always get 100K likes, and it would be the same engagement, every single post that you post is 100K likes, okay? What the fuck are you choosing to create, and what the fuck are you choosing to talk about? Because now, if you're thinking differently about your content and you're like, shit, like actually, maybe I would switch it around a little bit. Maybe it would not be the same. Then, ding, 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 ding. This is your sign that you are not in your most magnetic, fucking powerful, aligned, bad bitch energy right now. What the fuck is pulling you away from your intuition and comparison trap? And how will you cut that off? Now, for me, I know that when I start consuming people that are doing the same thing as me or talking about similar thing as me, that really takes me out of my creative overflow. It automatically, I feel like I'm taking on this other person's ideas that are not my own, and it makes me feel so uninspired. And so for me, it's really like not consuming anyone that is like doing something similar as me. Now, as someone who's built my entire business on having a powerful personal brand, I'm just gonna give you a key element that is part of my approach that works every fucking time. This is actually some of the things that are going to be in my signature program that is not out yet, but in the work. So I'm really excited. But okay, so first thing, okay, is energetic authority comes first. This is something that so many people overlook. Like it's so easy to just focus on, yes, like what is the strategy? Give me the strategy. And while yes, the framework is very powerful, okay, your energy behind it needs to back that shit up, okay? It needs to merge with the framework. Because content that converts doesn't necessarily comes from what you're saying, but who you are saying it. So this is like the vibe, the intention, the belief behind it, your energy, like your frequency that you are embodying, like what you are embodying in that moment. Because this is most of the time why I see people feeling kind of like overlooked or not getting as much recognition that as much as they would like to have. And they're like, I'm saying all the right things, but like, you know, it just like doesn't feel like I'm getting as much recognition as I want or would like to. And this is really because of what you are embodying, because the goal here is to shift from creating from a survival place and like a need place to a fucking like excitement and aligned place, so that you can feel like your fucking like baddie self when you are creating those pieces of content, and they will land so much more just by doing that shift. Because you're not creating from, I have to post content, I have to be consistent, I have to post 3 times a week, I have to, you know, it's not coming from that place. It's actually coming from such a different frequency field that it just fucking hits different. And this is exactly what makes your approach feel expensive and not draining. And now let's touch on the client magnet messaging method. This is all about having a messaging that cuts through the fucking noise and makes someone say and think, this is exactly what I've been looking for. This is exactly what I need. And this isn't like overdone tips or advice or overseen. Like, this is the shit that gets that person to literally be like, sign me up. How can I hire you? How can I be in your world? How can I like engage more with your content? Like, you know, all of these things that is part of being that 1% bad bitch. And this is the thing, like, you're so creative. Like, I know that like all the girlies out here that are tuning into this podcast are all very creative, and like, you have so much value to give, but sometimes even though you do have so much value to give and you are showing up, maybe your content isn't screaming like, fucking sign me up, take my money, fuck yes. And sometimes it's possible that your content is giving a bit more like, oh, let me think about it. Let me go walk my dog, go on a walk, text my friend, and I'll see about that, right? And this is not what we're here for, because you are part of the 1%. You are part of the 1%. And so the goal here is truly to have powerful messaging with intentions, because that is the shit that cuts through the noise. If you keep someone in their logical brain, they will not take the jump because they're just stuck in their logical brain. And what we want is an emotional connection, because that's truly what hooks anyone in to consume anything, really. It's also about having a really clear as fuck positioning for yourself and having an activating language that really drives fucking action. And the next element to the formula is creating a brand from the inside and out. Okay, because this isn't about building a personal brand based on trend or what's gonna work with the algorithm. This is about building a brand that is based on your truth, your life experience, your knowledge, your belief system, your story, right? Like your natural way of leading authentically. This is the kind of shit that it's about becoming more of who you truly are instead of trying to fit a mold. That is what built a legacy, and that is what start making some real fucking noise in your industry. Because we're basically taking your belief, your way of being, your vibe, and all putting it into your content so that it makes your personal brand a fucking moment, and you're just like showing up so raw, so real, like spiritually, you're funny, you're whatever. And I basically take you from creating a brand to embodying one. That should be my quote. I take you from creating a brand to fucking embodying one, literally. And now, of course, when it comes to content creation, you know, that you're a business owner or you're a content creator, or that you're a content creator for your business, we always have the goal of like growth, right? We always want to chase more and like grow our business and expand. But the thing is that like we don't want to do it to the cost of burnout, because then your results start dropping, you start feeling uninspired, your business becomes stagnant, and that's just not where we want to be. And I have experienced this personally, and let me just tell you, it was not fucking fun, because I was just showing up so burned out, literally uninspired, literally not giving a fuck what I was posting, and yeah, it was reflecting in my business, and that was not fun. And so it would have been better to take a step back, you know? But I didn't do that, so I'm here to help you make sure that your content doesn't feel like a chore, and it feels exciting, it feels expensive for you, and you're not being drained by it, okay? The mindset that I always take when going into this, when it comes to growing but not at the cost of burnout, is to always remember that the goal is impact and freedom. Okay, that is the goal, impact and freedom. And so it's not actually about doing more, but it's about showing up smarter in a way that is more powerful, that has more impact, and that just moves your industry differently, so that you don't have to be overcompensating. Because sure, like anyone can choose to just post more, do more, and always be like the one that's gonna post the most amount of content, and that's your strategy for growing. But here's the thing, it's like you want to instead take the content that you're already putting it out there, and instead of just wanting to create more, like how the fuck can this one piece of content actually make you grow 3 times more than all these other pieces of content that you're posting, right? That's where we want to get in that mindset of like, let's not be stuck and exchanging your freedom, and like instead let's think more expensive, more in a way that supports your like baddie lifestyle. And how can we actually make your content just more fucking impactful every time that you do post? And so this is all about building a system that actually sells for you while you're also able to rest and not be constantly overdoing it. Because I'm just gonna say, okay, if your strategy is always doing more, that's not a strategy. That's like survival. You want to shift from effort to being magnetic. You want to create a powerful motherfucking brand that makes you the obvious choice every single time. And this is exactly what we do inside my signature program. This is where we're building massive momentum and calling in overflow for yourself. And you can join the waitlist to be the first one to get notified when the doors open and get access to the early bird pricing, which will be only exclusive to the people on the wait list. Let me just say this, the version of you who's tuning into this massive frequency, shifting around her income, her frequency, her messaging, and making her personal brand a fucking moment, she already lives within you. She just needs to be activated. And so I will leave the link for the waitlist down in the description. If that sounds like you, then go sign up. And now if you find this episode helpful, make sure to send it to someone, send it to a friend. And so I am so grateful for every single one of you who do engage with the podcast, who do leave these review. I love you all, and I will see you back next week. Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to leave your 5-star rate and review on the podcast. I love to know what you guys think of the episodes, and I will meet you here next week.